Hello, everybody. Happy 4th of July if you're celebrating today. I want to welcome you to day 11 of our 14-day Move from Fear to Fuck It mini course. I can't believe that we're almost done. It's really, really exciting. Before we jump in today, I want to thank you for continuing to engage with the surveys. One common theme that is coming up over and over with your surveys is you guys want to know how to find work that is fulfilling and also is going to pay you enough to sustain the way that you live. And it's funny that that keeps coming up because that's really what I want to talk to you about today. The other thing that I want to mention before we dive in is that last night I just put the finishing touches on the new courses that I have designed for you, and I'm really, really proud of them. I'm really excited about them. They're so in line with what is my intention for you and my intention behind designing these courses, which is, of course, to give you practical steps that you can take to further your acting career and move you more towards your goals. But that is also in conjunction with making sure that you are taking care of the core of you, your soul, your heart, your mind, so that you can not only move forward in this business, but you can really thrive as you move forward in this business. So I'm really, really excited about them. I will give a preview of what those courses are going to look like on Sunday, just to give you a bit of a heads up. Instead of the normal 10 minutes, that class is probably going to be a little longer, maybe even up to 20 minutes, but it's really important that you join me on Sunday, because if you do, besides talking about the courses, there is a special gift that I'm going to offer to people who opt in early to the courses. And I want to make sure that you, my dreamers who have been coming on every day and watching the course, get to hear about it first. So please join me on Sunday. So I know that probably you guys have some cooking out, some barbecuing, some laying by pool to do. So I'm going to get started. Ironically, on the day that we talk, that our country is celebrating independence, or many people in our country are celebrating independence, I want to talk to you about the power of the group. I want to talk to you about the power of becoming a professional. And by professional, I specifically mean becoming part of the union. Now, I think a lot of you are getting not the best advice from reps who are thinking about the short term rather than the long term. I think specifically for actors who have agents who continue to submit them for non-union commercial work. Now, this is problematic for a few reasons. First of all, the union is there to guarantee your health and safety. They are the people that you can call if there are unsafe conditions on set. They can get a representative there. They can actually shut down production. And that's really, really important, because we know that even on union sets, terrible accidents can happen. Just a few months back, one of the showrunners for the new Bad Boys television show starring Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba, that showrunner lost a leg during filming because a stunt car ran into Video Village. And that is a show with a huge budget, with safety measures in place, and still an accident of that scale happened. We know just a few years ago, there was a young woman, a grip, that died on the set of a film that was shooting in Georgia because they were not following the union rules of making sure that they were working on train tracks that were not live. So it's really, really important, just from a safety perspective, that you have a union behind you that can come in and shut down a production. It's something that you don't have to take on as yourself, as an actor. You have a whole group of people behind you that they are going to do that for you. The second thing is, you've got to think about, this is a long-term career. So it's never about the next job that you're getting, in the next 2 months or the next 3 months. It's about, where do you want to be in 20 years, in 30 years? A friend of mine who is a manager, his client just passed the other day. She was 90 years old. She was working up until just a few years ago. So in our business, retirement doesn't look like it does in everybody else's business. You don't suddenly get to 65 and say like, okay, I'm done and I'm going to go off and enjoy my pension. There's always work that we can be doing. So what is happening if you are taking non-union work, if you're pursuing non-union work, first of all, you're undercutting pay for everybody, because specifically on commercials, what happens is rather than getting residual income, you are usually paid in a buyout. Now, on some of those deals, they can use that footage that they shot of you for up to 3 years. Under a union contract, that would be potentially a 6-figure deal that you're talking about. And instead, the producers are getting away with maybe paying you $5,000 to $10,000. They also don't have to pay you in a timely fashion. There's also usually no guarantee that if that material has been put up on the internet, that they must take it down. So you need to be really, really careful about reps who are suggesting that you just stay in the non-union world to get some experience and get some exposure. The thing is, let's say that you are a young actor who is right out of a training program, and you get a rep who says, we're just going to keep you doing non-union projects for a few years. Well, that you might be able to book more quickly. You might have some experience on set. You're not going to get paid as well as you should be getting paid. You're not contributing toward your health and pension. You're not earning residual income on those jobs. And you are also not building up your resume in a place where the professionals are working, in a place where you want to be. So all of this stuff that you are seeing on television, that you are seeing on Netflix, that you are seeing on Hulu, those are all union jobs. You are working with union directors, union writers, union grips, union art directors, union casting directors. So where the professionals are living, the people who are doing this for a career long-term, they're working on union projects. And in the meantime, people that are in your age group, that are your direct competition, who are in your category, they are not spending their time doing non-union work. They have jumped in, they're willing to do the work and maybe be a little bit more patient to get into the union. And so what happens is after a couple of years, when you decide, I think I'm ready to do some union jobs now, you have things on your resume that most people don't recognize, they haven't heard of, because they're non-union jobs. Maybe they're web series, or maybe they are non-union movies that never got a big release. It's projects that people in the unions and who work with the unions, they don't recognize. So it doesn't mean as much to them, that footage. And the other thing is, people in your category, they have been doing those projects that are recognizable. They have been doing those union jobs. So you are putting yourself at a disadvantage by staying in a non-professional pool. You've got to take the leap. Trust that your talent and your hard work and your tenacity is going to give you entree into the union world, which is where you want to be. And when we're talking about finding work that is meaningful and that is going to actually sustain you financially, that is what residual payments are all about. That is what getting your health insurance through a union is all about. That is what paying into a pension is all about. So you've got to think long term. Don't take the job that is easier to get. Go ahead and make the effort of really trying to get to the place where you want to be, which is where the professionals live, which is in a union. There's a great book called Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield. He's also the man who wrote The War of Art. And he talks about that if you have, and I want to talk about that even if you are going through the effort every single day of trying to work toward that goal of becoming SAG, that means you are turning pro. You are doing the work, and eventually that work always pays off. But you've got to overcome your resistance. Sometimes that resistance is to competition. Sometimes it's fear about, I'm not going to be good enough. Sometimes you know that it's just going to take longer for you to gain traction, for you to be noticed. Whatever that resistance is, turning pro means that you get up every day and you do it anyway. You overcome the resistance because you know in the long run that's the only way to get to the place where you want to be. So what I want to leave you with, your assignment today, is I want you to identify those areas of resistance you have to overcome in order to turn pro. I know that you guys are all here, that you are taking this course because that's your desire. You want to turn pro. You want to do this for your job. You want this to be your vocation, your career, your life. You want to make money doing it. You want to be able to sustain yourself, and you want to look back and be proud of the work that you've done. So I want you to identify those areas of resistance and then start today to do something different. What are you going to do to overcome it? It might be a conversation like, yes, thank you, agent, for getting me these opportunities with this non-union work. But you know what? I'm ready to become a professional. I am ready to go to get my SAG card. So I know that it's going to take longer for me to get work. I know that it may be more difficult, but I'm willing to be patient. I'm going to do the work that it takes to get where I want to be because I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time. People who are my same age, my same casting, they're already in the union. It's time for me to do some work and catch up. All right. So whatever that looks like, I want you to identify those areas of resistance and I want you to make that change. Okay. I know that is a big charge that I'm sending you off with today, but I know that it's something that you can do. And I know that it's what you want because that's why you're here. So I want you to access that power of being a professional and figure out the ways that you can step up. Okay. As always, the replay of this class will be available through midnight tonight. So if you miss it live, don't worry. Continue to message me at the Badass Actors, Writers, and Dreamers Facebook page if you have any questions, comments, and you can always go back to the surveys. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you right here at 10 a.m. tomorrow.